We all carry images in our hearts and in our heads, right? We have an image of ourselves when we're creating a documentary or we're painting an icon or we're writing a piece of music. And often that image can be one of success, one of some sort of earthly, visceral, carnal success where we are praised, we are seen for who we are valued. And I think that image has to be the one to go first. That image has to be broken because that is an idol. What we want a lot of times when we go about the process of making art is for someone to see us and for someone to say, yes, I see you. You've put yourself out there. And this is a lot of the modern idea and really the sort of Renaissance idea of art is that you put your whole self into something. And then if that's valued, your whole self is valued. Well, the Christian understanding of the world says, newsflash, your whole self is valued already, period. There's nothing you can do to add to your value. God calls you his beloved. He made you, he created you, he became flesh, he died for you, he wants you to share in his life. And so we have to break the idol of success however we see it first. Whatever that looks like, a good job or praise, winning the Oscar. I know the Oscars are so bad at this point, I want to win the Palme d'Or, or I just want the Indie Spirit Award. We all have, even if we don't value certain things, we all have things we value. And so that image has to go first to make life-giving images. Because if you think about icons, what they're called is windows to heaven. Windows. So they're not actually really made to be looked at, they're made to be looked through and looked past, which is the goal of the Christian life, right? Is that, there's the verse, that it says, you are the light of the world. Therefore, let your light shine so that when people see you and your good works, they will glorify your Father in heaven. Wait, no, they're going to give me all the credit, right? When people see me and my good works, they're going to say, what a great guy, what a great person, really solid guy. No, it says the reason that you do all these things and let your light shine, which we often kind of stop right there and we say, let our light shine. We're kind of glory, over here and everyone's going to look at us. It's so that they will say, oh, now I need to glorify God. Because the only reason that person's able to be good at all, because that person's a jerk, I know him. That person's not good, is because God is working in and through them. So we're made to be windows to heaven too. We're made to be true icons. Icon means true image. So idol is a false image, and that's what we often create for ourselves. And icon means true image. And when the Greeks translate the Septuagint, not the Greeks, but when the Septuagint, which is the Hebrew Bible, is translated into Greek, when God says, let us make human beings in our image, the word there is akon. So let us make human beings in our true image. And what we often want to do instead is make ourselves into idol images. We want to make ourselves into false images where we're successful for this or that reason. So first is to break the idol that we have of ourselves of whatever success looks like for us. That image just has to go. And then I think the next thing through that is to even the images we create, we have to be careful of trying to make them too complete in and of themselves. And that may sound a little bit obscure, but what I mean is that there should always be an imperfection in the images we create. Now again, it doesn't mean they have to be aesthetically poor. That's not the goal. But the goal is to say that there is something greater that we want to bring to bear, that we want to give to other people, than we can create. So we are leaving a space open. If you think about the ability for, it says in Isaiah about Jesus that by his wounds we are healed. By his wounds, and then we see the fullness of that, of course, in his crucifixion. And it's not by his perfection. Now, his perfection, of course, is necessary for salvation. But it's through his woundedness that perfection actually is offered to us. It's through his openness. And I think what we often want to do when we go about creating images is we want to communicate. And that's what we're taught that images are about, is about communication. I'm trying to bring these ideas that I have and put them on top of you. And communication is not bad. But the goal of God has never been communication alone. It's been communion. to share in the life of. And to do that, there has to be an openness. There has to be a woundedness even. And so I think the images that we create have to have some sort of imperfection. I don't know if it's a flaw, or I think a woundedness is the right thing to say. They're not perfect in and of themselves. We never make images of, men and women who have achieved some sort of perfection apart from the work of God, who enters usually through a wound and animates their life. And so an openness, a brokenness, an insufficiency. We must create insufficient images because we point to a God who meets us in our insufficiency and lifts us up to share in his own life.